Murmur expelled. Tau is in sight.
So this is the sun with a hole in it, a teaser for Tennocon's big reveal this year. A hole more than likely created by Pregasa, the sentient mothership, the devourer that was devouring the sun that we disabled at the end of the new war.
That thing appears to be eating the sun.
Should have stayed in Deviri.
Now, why is this hole in the teaser and of course Tau relevant right now? Why is the community kind of getting a little bit excited about this Tennocon teaser? Now, the relay event for Tennocon 2025 is set inside a sentient Murex ship, which you can see here in this image. And the Twitch drop this year for Tennocon 25, one of them is a sentient armor set called the Nactivire armor. So the fact that we're inside a Murex ship, the fact that it shows the hole in the sun which Pregasa created, and the fact that the armor set is sentient based would heavily suggest that we are about to deal with sentience again, which could be multiple different things. We're about to go back and fight them. Maybe we're going to ally with them against the Indifference, because Hunhao has helped us in the past. Maybe we're about to see the return of the Narmer faction, which has Pazul at the head of it, who is originally one of those sentient beasts created by Hunhao and Pregasa. Now, also as Twitch drops in this year's Tennocon, there is also Valkyr Prime up for grabs. There is a flare poster and there is a glyph combining the character from Soulframe, Ava, who looks like a Brussels sprout, and of course Clem as well. So they are Twitch drops. Now, if you're a new player to Warframe, you might wonder why Tau is such a big deal. Why would the community get excited for this? Now, Tau isn't just some new location. It is a fundamental part of Warframe's origin story, and of course the entire Old War saga. And the idea of finally getting there, where there is going to be new planets, a new solar system, a new blue sun apparently as well if you go by Mag's Codex entry, is quite exciting. But at the same time, it's more than likely still inhabited by a far more advanced sentient race than the sentients we currently fight in game. The sentients that never come back to fight. They more than likely still inhabit that system. Now, long ago, the technologically advanced and I guess pain in the arse decadent Rokan Empire faced overpopulation and resource depletion in our origin system. Now, their answer to this was to create sentients who were self-replicating, incredibly adaptable machines that they would then travel to the distant, resource-rich Tau system and terraform it in order for the Rokan Empire to go and colonize that system. Now, the flaw in their thinking was that in their arrogance, they gave the sentients the ability to evolve beyond their original programming. The sentients would then succeed in terraforming Tau, but then they would realize that the Orokin would just come to Tau and consume it the same way they had consumed the origin system. And worse, void energy that the sentients came into contact with would leave them sterile. So feeling betrayed, and I guess fearing their creator's destruction, the sentients rebelled. Now, this rebellion sparked the Old War, and with the sentients being incredibly adaptive and they had hacking capabilities that made the Orokin tech absolutely useless, their weapons, their defenses, their fleets, everything the Orokin Empire threw at them was basically fruitless. Now, facing defeat, the Orokin Empire developed two horrific weapons. There was the Strain of the Infestation, which is now rampant across our origin system, which was a bioweapon gone wrong, and then there was also the Warframes, who were biomechanical soldiers, but they couldn't really be controlled. If you've listened to Rhino's, I guess, Codex entry, you'll know exactly what I mean. They were basically mindless machines. This was only until, of course, the Zaraman 10-0 emerged from the void with traumatized children on board, the Tenno, and then they found out that they could uniquely control the Warframes. Now, the Tenno, while wielding the Warframes, would basically turn the tide of the Old War and defeat the Sentients, but at the victory celebration, the Tenno themselves would then turn on the Orokin and slaughter them all. That's, of course, a different rebellion which we're not going to get into. Now, the surviving Orokin were then hunted down, bar a few of them. Orokin tech failed due to gene locks, and the Lotus hid Lua inside the Void to save the Tenno, which led to the infestation breaking out and I guess being what it is right now. But at the same time, a rogue sentient would later basically appear on Earth and try to destroy all of the Orokin towers except the Unum Tower. That sentient was then defeated by the Warframe Gara, and our Tenno would then finally enter cryosleep. Now, there is a really cool lore entry from the Natak Quest where Hunhao talks about crossing the gap which left the sentients' wombs in ruin, but they did it to bring an end to this. But they severed their worlds, and then he said, let them destroy me. Now, him saying they severed the worlds is more or less them saying how they destroyed the solar rail as a way for us to get to Tau, which is why we have been isolated and not been able to get there, and why finally getting there is such a big thing. Now, whether we use that portal through the sun or whether there's some other means through going into the void whether it's half and half of disarmament or whatnot, I guess we're just going to have to wait and see. But then we fast forward to where we are right now. We fought the sentient invasion in the New War, we fought Ballas, we fought Era, and it culminated in Pregassa showing up and trying to consume the sun, which would then basically destroy our origin system and open that portal to Tau. But we stopped it, but it seems to have left that mysterious hole. Now, it is worth noting that a couple of months ago I had an interview with Megan and Rebecca, and we spoke a little bit about Tau in that interview. I'm going to leave it linked in this video description. But we also, at one point, Megan made a joke about how we don't need to worry about Tau just yet because we still have to deal with Unum. We haven't even done anything with Unum yet. And considering that one of the Sentients showed up and Gara defeated it in the Unum Tower, I don't know if that was Megan hinting at something or if that was her trying to distract us and put us in a different direction. Anyway, back to that sun, its hole, and I guess Tau in general. Albert and Trati's dialogue at the end of the Whispers on the Wall quest, another generalization, and it could be the final, I guess, culmination of the 5 years that Rebecca's team have said that they've got the story worked out for the next 5 years. So Tau could be at the end of that, or it could be that potentially we're going to get to Tau even sooner. So in the end, I guess Tau isn't just a new location, it's an entire new system, and in a way, with regards to its story and the lore of Warframe, it is the missing half of Warframe's universe. Everything that started with the old war, with the Sentients, with the Orokin Empire, half of that involved Tau. It's where the Sentients came of age, it's where they evolved, it's where a lot of them might still be, it's where the Orokin ambition collided with their own downfall and the emergence of our Warframes. And it might just be our next chapter, our next destination. Warframe 2, if you want to, except 2 is spelled T-A-U. Whether we're heading into another war, whether we're forming alliances with old enemies, or whether we're uncovering even deeper betrayals, Tau basically represents a shift, and maybe a major one in Warframe's story. When we get there, whether it's now, whether this is the start of that journey, we don't know. But if you're not hyped, maybe you should be just a little bit for Tennocon this year to see exactly what they're going to show off. Because if Tau is on the horizon, then it's going to be very, very exciting. But by all means, in the comment section below, let me know what you think the implications of that teaser are with the hole in the sun and the fact that everything is going to be sentient based. Do you think we're going to fight the Sentients or team up with them? How do you think the man in the wall is going to be involved in all of this? Because we first have to do Isleweaver, right, with Araxia and with Nessie Rusalka this month, in a few weeks more than likely. And then after that, it's probably going to lead into whatever they're going to showcase at Tennocon. And that update will more than likely be at the end of the year, or maybe at the start of next year. But let me know in the comment section below. Share your thoughts on the lore. Correct me on any of the lore that I was wrong with as well. By all means, I'm not a crazy lore guy. I do enjoy simplifying it down. And at the same time, if I've got something wrong, please let me know in the comment section below. Share your thoughts. What do you think? Have a great day. Have a great week. And as always, thanks for watching.